All right, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Let everybody say a couple final words. I know, Rachel, you got to go, so I'm going to let you, if you want to add any final words, any final goodbyes, any final thoughts as we kind of wrap this up.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Actually, that's the first thing. The other thing was my first job for about 2.5 years at Amazon was actually handling law enforcement inquiries. And what you just said reminded me of the kind of thing that you see in those TV shows where they're like, "Oh, it looks like your food consumption has doubled this month. Who are you hiding in your house?" Right? Feels like it could be like a CSI episode or something. But thank you so much, Jeff, for scheduling this. And sorry, I've got to hop off before you wrap up. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else want to go? Don, you want to go next and just kind of some
Sure.
final words?
Sure. Just one quick thing on what Carlos was just saying. You know, all right, I'm older than all of you. In 1964, the World's Fair in New York, the GE Pavilion, what did they have? They had this refrigerator that knows when you're running out of milk and, you know, whatever else, and restores it. It was amazing. I'll give
that was the future. And look, we're here.
Hey, man. And that was also opening day for the New York Mets at Shea Stadium. We were stuck in the worst traffic ever in New York that day. So I'll give you a crazy prediction that I don't think is that crazy. I think that over the next couple of years, you're going to see Amazon pull back from their own brands to avoid antitrust problems. I think they'll become that super, you watch their commercials, that super advocate for small business that they're, you know, they are in many ways and they're not in other ways. And I think, I hope so, Carlos. I think that could really, really happen. So anyway, that's my last one. Thank you, Jeff. This has been great.
Yeah. Carlos, you want to add any final thoughts?
Just a huge thank you to you for doing this. It was good catching up with a lot of you. Some of you I only see on social media. Brandon, I'm not sure what country he's in half the time. We're neighbors, but I don't see him. But
yeah, the pandemic has kept us apart. I miss you, man.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. So all of you are awesome. A wild prediction I have, I'm thinking end of this next coming year, the year after that, is I'm predicting Amazon's going to do something with health insurance for sellers. Just been following a lot of cool stuff they've been doing with pharmacy stuff and companies they've been gobbling up. Something tells me they're going to roll out some kind of health insurance stuff for Amazon sellers, which would be a really cool thing.
Do you still get the insurance if you're suspended?
Well, they still want you to pay back the loans, so I'm assuming so.
Yeah, you Brett, show up at the doctor in the morning and you didn't even know your account got suspended, and they're like, "Sorry, we can't see you."
No MRI for you.
Brett, you want to say some final words?
Yeah, first, thanks so much for having us, Jeff. And just to echo what Don said, I think that's an awesome prediction, and I'm excited to see how that might play out. But what I'd say is the customer journey has changed so much as people have dealt with scarcity in the supply chain. I can't get the brand I want, so I'll buy something else. Now they don't really care as much about the brand. They're not as loyal to that. And I think the important thing for brands, and especially for brands that are spending a lot on advertising to think about, is how can you skip steps in that customer journey? And I think content like video are great ways to kind of bypass some of those blockers in our brain where we say, I need more info before I'm really willing to buy this. You see the video, you see the USPs, you understand the product, and you buy it before you even understand that you want it, really. And I think it's important that brands are looking for ways to leverage those tools, especially in 21, 22, because it's going to become the norm. And I think it's going to be some of the main advertising units that we're going to be wanting to use and seeing efficacy in.
Awesome. Jing, you want to add anything? And you're muted. Start from the beginning though.
Sorry, I had to do this every time any call. Anyways, so again, thank you so much for just bringing me online and just chatting with you guys. I've missed everyone so much, just being away from home and seeing familiar faces. This is amazing. For me, it's not so much of a prediction for the 2021 or 2022. It's more of a tip that you just really want to closely follow all your trends in terms of sales, in terms of logistics. Any changes that you see, you want to take action immediately. This year, we've learned so much, with just Amazon advertising. We had seen a couple of ads not really converting well, and it turned out it was because either it's merchant fulfilled offers or it's because Amazon has accidentally lost our Prime badge on one of the products. You just always want to pay close attention to any signs that you can catch. That's it.
I think I actually froze here.
Did you?
Am I back?
I see you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, why don't you go next?
No, I mean, thanks for putting this together. It's always good to see everybody. I miss socializing and I miss getting together at events and everybody. It's been a long year. Jennifer is more of the introvert, so she's kind of enjoyed it. And we're so used to traveling so much. It's been more productive for our business, believe it or not. Like we've just been stuck and having to work. So less socializing equals more work. And so business was better this year, even with the challenges. Just encourage everybody. I mean, this is still the best opportunity on the planet as far as a business goes. It's only going to get better. Amazon's only going to continue to grow. Just be efficient and learn how to do it properly, and focus on content and focus on efficiency.
Great. Thank you. Alex?
Yeah, I want to thank you as well for, having me and as letting me be a part of the conversation. This is definitely one of the smarter rooms of people I've been in, and I am definitely jealous of yourself, Jeff, Carlos, and Brandon with your microphones. I'm feeling like I have to up my game here a little bit, but I think the future is bright for e-commerce. I'm bullish for years and years to come. I think the market keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And one thing I'm kind of keeping an eye out, like personally, that I think is really interesting is companies who are continuing to solve that last mile delivery and get those costs in, get those costs low. I saw a commercial recently that UPS is looking to hire drivers to use their own cars. And so that just shows you how much strain and demand there is. And the other thing I'm looking at is cold storage. There's not actually that much cold storage around different cities, and kind of to my point before about groceries and just all the different stuff we're buying, now that everyone's buying so much more of it, perishables will perish. And I could see a lot of old malls and different types of old warehouse and manufacturing spaces being converted into different types of cold storage warehouses.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, the woman I've given the shirt off my back to, Robin.
So he didn't give me the shirt. He gave me the jacket, which
the jacket.
I still
yes, it was the jacket.
I wore on a hike like just the other day. So I appreciate that. I'm kind of like the Honda Civic of Amazon influencers. I don't have like the flashy cool stuff. I have the like really practical, like boring, like 40-mile-an-hour stuff. So what I would say is, the way that we look at predictions is we're watching what Amazon is emphasizing. Amazon is really emphasizing stores. They're really emphasizing building out those things. So watching that, taking the time to actually generate some network. And if you don't have a network, just following people. But the big prediction that I think that we've kind of already talked about it, but I think it's going to be, if you want to survive on Amazon, it's about really developing a thorough business plan, watching your cash flow, creating a full funnel strategy, and really understanding the fundamentals of listing. I know that that's not cool, sexy. It is not the Tesla. I think Brandon's maybe more the Tesla of Amazon people. I'm not that cool. So that's my boring Honda Civic prediction.
Oh, you're right. Like you gotta have like the beauty of this group is that they're experienced, successful sellers and entrepreneurs in the space. We sometimes forget that the stuff that got us here is that boring stuff that if you don't have, we should start over, right? Prediction for 2021. If you got a crappy product, you're not going to succeed.
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Right? Robin, it is even today, like data is not sexy. Looking at keyword research and data and determining what product to sell and how to sell it and how to optimize your listing and PPC. And Carlos loved that stuff. And he's a PPC nerd, like the biggest PPC nerd I know probably. And like, so, I mean, it's just it's
just because he uses a good tool.
But most people don't find that fun and don't want to do it. But the reality is, if you want a Tesla and you want to have a multi-million-dollar business and make millions of dollars a year, then yeah, you have to start with a foundation of that and repeat that process every time. It's not like you just launch a multi-million-dollar product. No, you have to start from the ground up again. So it's always start with a Honda Civic.
Hey, I love what you said there with the Honda Civic of was suggestions or advice.
Content of influence, the Honda Civic of
influencers.
Amazon influencers.
That should be like the what do you call it?
Nate's going to make you a
teaser before the recording. That should be it. No, but I mean, my success is I have to be 95% mastery of the basics of the Honda Civics. of what we do on Amazon. I mean, the rest of it's just icing.
I just think it can be really easy to look at us and be like, oh, video ads, and because we're doing all that because we've taken the time to master that. And I think that it's important that we go back and like people will be like, oh, your business is so perfect. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no, that
Well, video
you're
ads
just on
with a
chapter
junky
10.
listing.
Yeah.
Well, this is the value of the people that stuck around to the end, right?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, as influencers in the space, we know that people want to hear about the newest, the latest, the greatest. And so we go there because it somewhat makes us more, we're not cool. We're not cool if we're just talking about the basics, but we all know and agree that if you can't do it, you're going to fail, which is why you keep writing articles on how to optimize your listing for SEO, for Amazon search. It's why, you know, it's the basic things that people are still getting wrong that you have to be able to build upon to finally get to doing the other things. And I think that, you know, when it comes down to it, that's why I wanted to bring you all together. I thank you all as my friends and as guests on this. This truly is like, honestly, like 15 phone calls all in one for the audience to hear. And I think that's really cool because this is how I learn and this is how I share in this community. Is by engaging with people that are smarter than me, who I can have intelligent conversations with, who I can debate where things are going. And then I can go back and put into practice what I've talked about, what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I've heard others do. And if I'm going to give one piece of final advice here, that is, don't try to follow and copy what anybody else is doing. Try to apply what somebody else is doing to your business. And it's a semantic, but it's the big difference of why all these people have been successful. They do not copy anything that anybody says. They are all applying that to their business and adapting it in the way that will make them the most successful. None of them have followed a step-by-step process of A plus B equals C. It's A plus H plus T plus minus Q. I failed. I'm going to start over. And then rewriting the equation 10 more times.
Eject.
So thank you all, everybody. Have a great day. We'll be back in January with a webinar on a new product launch for Seller Labs and a new way for Amazon sellers to be looking at their business. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thanks, Seller Labs.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everybody.
You too. Thanks, everybody.